Covey, this is a team that will come at you with two of the best players in the league. In terms of what you guys do, what you do personally with your pairing with Brian, what is that like when you're trying to shut down guys like McDavid?
Yeah, obviously it's a big challenge. Just the speed that they come at you with. There's not many guys in the world that can do that, obviously. So, I'm sure every team has that challenge, and it's going to be like a five-man effort. It's not just on the D-man. It's going to be all, I guess, six guys out there trying to slow them down.
What do you think was so effective for you guys last game? I know, again, it was like early November, a different time for you guys, but you guys were able to stop them.
Yeah. Well, obviously, probably helped McDavid was out that game.
Yeah.
But Draisaitl's still a hell of a player, and they got a lot of good players on that side. Their, top end skill is elite. So, we got to do a job, staying on top of their centers. They have a lot of strength up the middle of the ice, so stay on top of them, stay out of the box. You know how good their power play is, and hopefully, that special teams battle is huge in every game. But against power play that good, we got to try and play a disciplined game.
And for you pairing up with Dumo, what has that been like? And do you feel like you've been able to sort of replicate a little bit of what you were able to do with Siegs as well? They're different types of players, but
yeah, no, I think Dumo's been great for us. He's easy to play with. He's so experienced, and he makes such smart reads out there that it's similar to playing with Siegs in the sense where I feel like a lot of it's kind of natural. Like we're not kind of over communicating or anything. Like it's just kind of fits. Yeah, you're right. Fits. Like just play similar games. So yeah, I've been so fortunate and lucky this year to play with some great players.
how has that helped you in your you've been in the league long enough as well, but like just what does that do for your game?
No, for sure. It gives me, more confidence to maybe be a little more aggressive or hold a tighter gap or, just have that, like, no doubt because I know, that my partner's got my back at all times. So it just helps you play that extra split second faster, which, in a game this quick, a lot of times is the difference.
And for you guys, the goal here is to sort of build up wins, right? What have you liked about the way you competed in these last two games that needs to be replicated, particularly against a team like Edmonton?
Yeah, I loved our compete, and I loved kind of our structure and our predictability. I think a lot of times we were, not messing around with pucks, but going right back up, getting it in behind them and putting the pressure on them, trying to tilt the ice. And, when all five guys kind of are predictable towards each other, it helps us play quick. And that speed helps us, use our compete to win battles, and it's all kind of connected like that. So I would say that the predictability and the compete are two, factors that have helped us play well the last two games.
Do you think that predictability was missing for a little bit, and sort of getting back to that has allowed that structure to take hold?
Yeah, I think, we've definitely found our way as of late. Obviously, before that, we lost 3 in a row. Yeah. Some tough games, but against, that Dallas game, played well, deserved better. So, I'd say it's been inconsistent. Mm-hmm. We've had it at times, haven't had it at times. So hopefully now we realize it works. The thing is, like, now we know that predictability works, so we don't want to stray too, we don't want to feel too good about ourselves and now go off script, so stick to our structure, and I think we'll be all right.
And you see what McDavid and Draisaitl really. So as a defensive unit, what are the things that you need to do to kind of combat that?
Yeah, just first thing, don't give them time, because they can make the plays, and like I said, they're one of the best players in the league, so just don't give them time.
For you to be able to come back in the lineup, what does it, do for you? And what have these last couple of days been like waiting for that opportunity?
Yeah, it's always hard to just wait and watch the guys play, but I just want to be better than last game and just show I'm ready for this chance.
And what have the coaches maybe working with Gilly sort of told you about? Is it about that consistency? What is it that they need more from?
Yeah, the consistency is the biggest thing because I think pretty good games before, but just a couple bad shifts and the games turn around. But yeah, I mean the consistency is the biggest thing, and we are working on that.
What is the biggest challenge for you, maybe mentally, sort of going through after the season you had last year, going through the ups and downs? Because a lot of people do.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's part of the business and part of the hockey. And yeah, I mean, like I'm pro and I'm trying to figure it out. And yeah, and I think this season helps me, and I'm way more mentally stronger than I was last year.
Sheldon, obviously, the last time was a while ago that you met up with this team, but they looked a little different. Didn't have McDavid in their lineup. When you have both McDavid and Draisaitl, while it doesn't change how you want to play, how does that tend to complicate things?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it complicates, but it of course it makes it that much more difficult. Both in they play separately, and feels like you never have a shift off because they play so much, or they play together, and it can be overwhelming. But the challenges are great, but it really I think players are aware of it, and you got to play as responsible as you can and execute on defense very well. Try to spend as much time as you can with the puck on offense, but it's two elite players, two of the premier players in the league. We know that, no surprises. So just got to execute. You make small adjustments. Not so much adjustments necessarily, but just there's heightened awareness in your structure with how you manage those guys and making sure you try to keep the puck out of their hands.
One of the things that Kovacevic was saying is he feels in the last two games that there was a little more predictability in everybody's game, and that's what sort of really helped make shift to shift connected. Have you been seeing that a little bit more?
Yeah, I have. We've talked about that. I think just being connected and how much more important that is here now. You take Jack out of our lineup, who's a guy that facilitates so much for us and controls so much of the game, and for that you get the benefits of when he's out there, but also the lasting benefits of even when he leaves the ice. So you take that kind of presence out of the lineup, and you got to find different ways to get to the neutral zone and to get onto offense. So we've talked about that and simplified things. I thought our first period the other night was as good as we've looked in a really long time. So the guys are buying into that, and obviously we need that to continue to an even greater degree tonight.
Fitzy said something yesterday about Dougie, and obviously it was sort of unclear where last time we talked to him when he was going to be able to come back. Do you have an update on Dougie and how he's doing?
I don't have an update. I mean, I know Fitz provided one yesterday, I guess, but that's maybe just kind of clarifying his initial comments, because there's no different news, no change in his situation. It's that's always been the situation as far as the information I had from the get-go. So that's really it. But the nature of his injury, he'll do all that he can to be ready as soon as he can, and we'll welcome him back and hope to earn the opportunity to play long enough to get him back. But yeah, it hasn't really been on my mind since we kind of turned the page pretty quickly once the injury happens, because you just got to press on.
So is there a chance he could return for the regular season, Dougie?
Well, like I said, the nature of his injury, if everything goes perfectly, maybe, but I don't know that that's we're not counting on it, put it that way. We're pressing on as though we don't have him.
I wanted to dig in on Paul Cotter a little bit more. Like, obviously he's got all the tools in terms of the hands, the physicality, the speed. What do you think is the key part of his game in order to have him consistently be like an impact guy like Tuesday and avoid some of those stretches that led to his scratch on Sunday?
Well, see, because I guess I would ask you is what did you think? What did you like about Tuesday? Just that he scored, or?
I thought he said he thought he held on the puck a lot better as well.
That's my point. Yeah. I think he has been able to score, and contribute. But to me, all the things that happen in between the goals, there's not enough there, not enough substance to the game. Hanging on to the puck, helping the team get momentum. Generating more shots for himself, being good defensively, not getting scored on, like all of these kind of things. That's really what you're looking for, So, be looking for depth scoring and such, and I think he can provide that as he showed the other night. But I don't focus so much on depth scoring as much as our team scoring. I don't care who scores the goals. We just need to score. So some guys, like to me, as we've talked about this, Lazar and Bastian, they don't necessarily get a lot of points, but their fingerprints are all over our game when we're playing. They're every day, I sort through the clips to show the team, and I got to cut clips out of Lazar and Bastian because these guys are just doing too many good things. And Cotter was a big part of that the other day. In their meetings today, all of a sudden Cotter's in these clips, just as Tatar had been. That line is so important for us, but they don't always score or generate offense, but they take care of the game in such a way that it helps the rest of the team, and our game just flows from one shift to the next. And to me, that is so important now more than ever when you've taken someone like Jack and Dougie, who are like, you would say are like top end offensive guys. You need to have a team game, and that's what we need to see from Paul Cotter's contributions, is to take care of the game in between the goals. The reality is, as much as he's scored this year and he's good at depth scoring, there's big gaps between the goals. So what else are you doing that helps our team? And to me, that's where guys like Lazar and Bastian have been so good for us. All the things that we talk about, and it doesn't show up on the score sheet, but they're very, very important to us playing well as a team and having line over line consistency. So I was happy to see Cotter contribute in that manner. And when he's at his best, he'll not just do that, but then he has the offensive ability to execute and score inside of that. And then you really have something.
Looks like Nemec is going to draw back into the lineup tonight. What are you expecting out of him? What do you want to see against, a pretty tough test?
Yeah, I just want to see him play, the way that he has played. I think he's played good hockey for us. He had one horrific period, that we needed to rinse away and talk to him about, and that opened a door for Chalowski to come in and played a couple of good games for us. But was on the ice for a couple of goals against the other night, and that's enough of a reason to get someone like Nemo back in. And as I said, I liked where his game was going. It fell off. So you need to find that level of consistency. These games matter a great deal, and expect him to get back to it, but look to eliminate any of that snowball effect. Where one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden, the game has gotten away on our team. So that's really it. But he's handled himself very well in the time between his last game and now, and I expect him to come in and be confident.
Where have you seen Markstrom's game since his return from the injury?
It looks to me like he's finding it. He's. I think he's like the number one thing is he's been healthy and hasn't missed a rep. I was a little concerned about the workload we gave him coming right out of the injury. I mean, right away to start with, his first game is in Vegas. It's a real hard team, and he's played against a lot of really good teams and really hard games. But to me, he's battled and he looks healthy, looks strong. And if I can kind of compare this to how we started the season, it took a little bit to really get going at the start of the season, and then he was lights out for us, and I would say we're just around the corner from that.